Yep, they're all joining. So yeah, let's start. The people that are on time, thank you for coming on time. My name is Sandro Pianconi. I'm a co-founder of Fast Moving Consumer Goods, and my partner Jorge Olson. Jorge, I'll let you take it on, and I'll let the people in as they come in.
All right. Welcome. Today we're going to go over very fast how you can create a product in 90 days. You will end up knowing how to produce it, how to formulate it, how to manufacture it, sell it, and plan for an exit. We're going to go over all of those steps one by one. It can be a beverage, it can be a vitamin company, other type of supplements. It can be something that you sell in a store like a candy bar, protein bar, soda, etc. It can be a beauty product, it can be a pet supply product, it can be an impulse buy product. All of these are fast moving consumer goods because they move very fast through the store. Even though we're going to sell a lot online, they still move very fast through the store. And I'm going to ask Sandro to start going through the slides. One of the things that we've seen over the last years is that a lot of businesses go out of business the first year. And the problem is not the product. The problem is not necessarily the entrepreneur. The problem is how you see yourself as an entrepreneur. Now, we've even spoken with these entrepreneurs after 25, 30 years of working with them. We have a huge database and we call them, or we call a sample every year. And what that information told us is that most of the people that started a year later were not doing it anymore. And a lot of the reasoning was because it's too hard. There's not enough information. I spent all of my savings. I went to shows and I didn't know how to do it after that. Everything that you can imagine, but in reality, it's just information and execution. That's it. It's not that difficult.
Right. And Jorge, that number, which when we called, was the exact, this is a Nielsen number that 85% of all the packaged goods. So our numbers and Nielsen numbers were right on by a few percent.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. So this is what they're going to walk away with today, Jorge.
Let's see it.
The 12-week launch sequence, most founders execute incorrectly, which you talked about, right? The costly early stage mistakes that silently derail brands, and how we're going to teach them how to structure their company and brand properly from day one, and what it actually takes to move from idea to market ready in 90 days.
Yeah. And by the way, when we say 90 days, we say it nonchalant. It takes 2 years. When a brand comes to us, they usually, it's too late, they usually spend 2 years and about $250,000. As you can see, you will not spend that money or that time. And the reason is just, like I said, it's information and execution.
Yeah. So before we begin, this is the agreement that we're going to make with you. Agreement number one. Everything we're going to share today comes from 30 years of distribution experience, manufacturer and brand building, and company public experience. Agreement number two, this requires execution. So at the end of this, if you cannot commit to 1 to 2 hours, focused hours per week, the results won't follow. And at the end, we're going to show you how to implement this inside of our 12-week incubator, but only if it's the right fit.
Yeah, a lot of people think it takes hours and hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. Again, that's if you're Googling stuff. But if you follow a template, it doesn't take that time. It's a couple of hours a week.
Yeah. So quick question. Let me admit everyone. There we go. We got more people joining. So a quick question for that group. I have a product, but I don't know exactly where to start. If that describes you, please type true in the chat. Okay. And then we can go from there and tailor this towards you. So please, everyone, go in. If this is you, this was us 35 years ago, type in true.
And a lot of people don't have an idea, right? A lot of people have an idea. A lot of people don't have the actual idea. They're looking for the idea, but they know they want to do either a beverage or a protein drink or something.
Yeah. So if you typed in true, here's the thing. You don't lack intelligence. You don't lack ambition. You don't lack opportunity. You just lack the structured sequence, and sequence determines your survival.
And we talked about it already. It's execution. You need to execute the plan and avoid the costly mistakes like doing the wrong formulation, doing the wrong manufacturing, spending money at a show, and fear.
Yeah. And then this is myth number one, right? This is the first thing when we talk to founders. Do I form an LLC or a corporation? Should I call a formulator first, right? When do I file a trademark? What comes before packaging? When should I start thinking about margins? So there's a lot of moving parts with no roadmap.
Well, let me give you a hint. Number one was corporation.
Yes. So without structure, decisions become more reactive. It's emotional. Money gets spent emotionally. Suppliers control the timeline, and founders lose the leverage. So this confusion is what creates the expensive outcomes. Jorge, on average, over the 30 years that you've been consulting, what does a founder end up spending from start to finish if they don't have a plan and a guided tour?
Yeah, I've done over 1,000 fast-moving consumer goods, in a lot for me, but a lot for other people. When they come to me, Sandro, when they arrive knocking on my door, they read my book or something happened, they go in and they say, well, I already spent $250,000 and I've been at it for 2 years. And of course you say, great, how many stores do you have? And they say, no, I have a formula.
Yeah.
That's typical.
Well, those are the common examples, right? So spending 5 figures on formulation before they even validate the margins. They've signed the wrong co-manufacturing agreements. They've over-ordered inventory too early because the co-manufacturer told them that they had to order a truckload.
Well, here's another one. They go with the wrong formulator, which only does formulas for if you want a birthday party or something for your business, but not for scalability. And then you're buying the ingredients that they recommended, and we come to us to sell it. We can't sell it. It's too expensive. So you need to work with the right formulator that can then be your supply chain manager at the same time, so that you can save on ingredients, save on formulation, and then the manufacturer will accept the product that you have.
Right. And then the other common is we've seen 1,000 times is structuring the company incorrectly from day one. So once you make all these mistakes at the beginning, by the time we see them, it's so hard to fix.
And let me clarify something. If you're not going to fund your company, if you don't need capital, you can probably do whatever you want. But if you're going to look for capital, if you need investors, you need a C Corp.
Right. And so here's some of the mistakes that happen. Once they go down the wrong path, Jorge, it's very expensive to do a reverse. Bottlenecks, retail readiness, the founders get down. We see the founders when they come to us, they're a little depressed, and they only realize the mistakes after the money's gone. That's when we end up seeing them, right?
That's right.
Myth number 3 of going down this path. People say to us, hey, I've never done this before. What if I choose the wrong supplier? What if I waste capital? What if I run out of capital? Or I don't have capital? What if I don't know enough? Right. And then the last thing is, they come out of school. We run a doctor's practice, and they said they didn't teach me this in school.
Yeah, even surgeons say that. Yeah,
that's right. So the three problems create the FMCG failure, right? Confusion, expensive decisions, stress, delay, and then end up abandoning the product. And then this cycle repeats until a structure is introduced.
Yeah, and by the way, Sandro, it's not difficult to not go out of business. It's difficult to sell your company for $1 billion.
That's right.
But to make an extra 1,000, 2,000, well, to not go out of business, it's easy. You need very little sales to do that. That's very easy. That's not us, but that can be a hobby. It can be something else. Right. The scaling is what we're after, but it is easy. It's hard to go out of business, actually.
Yes.
You have to make a lot of mistakes. Yeah.
So as you said at the beginning, most founders don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're guessing. Yeah. Every day they're guessing, and guessing in this space is very expensive.
Yeah.
So let's eliminate the 3 dangerous myths right now. These myths cost founders money every year, and we've seen it.
Well, we already paid the money, Sandro.
That's right. So myth number one, my product is good enough, it will sell by itself.
Yeah.
How many times have we heard that?
Not only that, but we have horror stories of one that comes to mind. It was a capsule for weight loss and for energy. And the owners, it was a publicly traded company, and they said, go put it in 250 stores. We want to do a trial. All right. So we went and we did it. Then we said, okay, now let's do some marketing. Oh, no, we don't need marketing. The product is so good, it's going to sell. And they were out of the store next month, out of the 250 stores. Yeah.
Right. And so the truth about this myth is great products fail every day because of margins. They didn't figure out their margins right. The positioning, the sequence was wrong, not because the idea lacked potential.
Yep.
Myth number two, we need the perfect product before thinking about the business. So here's what we always say: brand positioning and marketing strategy should guide formulation, not the other way around.
Yep.
Right? People come to us and they want us to do a formulation, and we start asking questions. And by the time we're done, maybe the whole product has changed.
That exactly is right. They say they want something. We do some market research. We look at the margins. We look at the competition. We suggest 3 alternatives. Most of the time, they go with the alternative. That's absolutely right.
Myth number three, I'll figure out tax and structure later. Let me do the startup. Let me work out of my garage, and then I'll figure it out. And so the truth is, incorrect entity setup can become extremely costly at exit. So structure, we want you to establish it right from the beginning, right? Yeah. Because things can go really, really quick, and then to reverse and to do it comes out really
well. And then we can't ask funds for money. We can't ask our investment banker to represent them. We can't do anything.
Right. So the people on this call, we want to let you know and explain to you why we're qualified to teach this course. Myself, Sandro Pianconi, and Jorge, we have over 30 years in the fast-moving consumer goods. We built distribution companies both in the U.S. and Mexico. Jorge distributed over 17,000 stores in the U.S., and we were the Miller Beer distributor in Baja California, Mexico.
And we've sent, we have a big presence on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And so those of you, if you want to learn more about us, if you're on LinkedIn, we have the largest FMCG group in the USA. We have 41,000 members and growing every day. So if you're on LinkedIn, please come and connect to us, and then you can learn more about it.
And by the way, we have an investment group of 40,000 as well. And then we post about this stuff every day. So follow us so you can see all of the posts that we do.
Also, we've distributed over 2,000 SKUs across multiple categories, again, both in the US and Mexico. We've opened and operated manufacturing companies, so we gained firsthand experience. We know our way around the manufacturing facility, both production, logistics, compliance, and most importantly, margin control. We've launched over 1,000 consumer products, food, beverages, supplements, households, real SKUs, real shelves, and real distribution. Jorge, your background is in beverage. You can tell them a little bit about what you've done in the beverage space.
I started in software, and I shifted as an entrepreneur into distribution. I have my own trucks in San Diego, California, and then I trained other distributors to sell my products that I developed, manufactured, everything. We got into 17,000 stores. These are store by store. These are liquor stores, convenience stores, plus all the chains. Then I did what we're doing now. I did for Target. I did for 7-Eleven. I did for a bunch of stores for Valero, for Walgreens. I did like 25 programs for Walgreens. Impulse buy. You mentioned that I did it. Even the displays, the signs, the shipping, teaching the staff, absolutely everything. Then I switched to beverages. And I wrote a book, Build Your Beverage Empire. Now it's in 3rd edition. And it's used in over 200 universities not as a beverage book because they don't have that class, but they use it in the master programs and the MBAs and in the entrepreneurial majors. A lot of our students tell us that they read the book 7, 8, 9 years ago in college, and then they decided to be entrepreneurs. Those are the best.
So that just
stories.
makes us
Yeah,
seem old to the
I
client
know,
we
I know.
feel.
But hey, we've worked with Miller, we worked with Rockstar Energy
Yep,
Drink, Monster Energy Drink, Coca-Cola, 5 Hour Energy, and that's just the brands that you recognize. Then
right,
there's all of the ones that you wouldn't recognize.
right. So we've also taken two companies public, one on the
Yeah.
OTCBB and one on NASDAQ. So public companies demand structure, not improvisation.
And
These are
Sandro, we've launched five. That those
yes,
are just the last two.
yeah, those are the
Yeah,
last
we've
two.
launched five.
These are companies that we worked alongside,
Yeah.
major brands and public figures. So you may know some of these. Rick Ross on the left, Snoop Dogg here in the middle, and then Cheech and Chong. So we understand what scalability is. We've taken their brands from formulation to manufacturing to execution and nationwide distribution.
Hey Sandro, how many SKUs did we do for Snoop Dogg
I believe 10.
in a
Yes.
quarter? In
In
one
a quarter,
quarter?
in 90 days.
Yeah,
Yes, in 90 days.
that was
But more
crazy.
important than anything, Jorge, is that we made all the mistakes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've hired the
We need
wrong
another webinar
formulators.
just for that.
Yeah, we've hired the wrong formulators. We've chosen the wrong co-manufacturers. We've produced too much inventory. We did a structure incorrectly because
Yeah,
our accountants told us to do it a certain way.
yeah,
Um, my story is we had an exit on one of our companies. And because of the way it was set up, we paid substantial capital gains. We said we'll never do that again. So experience is very expensive.
yeah,
And now we've built the framework so these founders don't have to learn all the mistakes the hard way because me and you paid for them many,
yeah,
many, many times over. So what came to realization is we have a 90-day FMCG launch framework. It's designed for first-time founders and built for structured execution. The framework, what comes? It's 12 weeks. So we have clear weekly milestones, defined deliverables, structured sequence. There's no guesswork.
yeah,
So once a week, you know exactly what you're going to do. There's clear milestones. You don't have to figure out what you're going to do next. Building the foundation. So week one, before formulation, before packaging, before anything, we talk about the why behind your brand, right? What you plan on doing the next 3 months, 12 months, and beyond. We want to understand your mindset. Why are you doing this, right? And it's okay. The answer could be it's a side hustle. It
yeah,
could be I want to leave my job. I want to build this for my kids.
yeah,
We need to understand that. And you need to understand that because if you understand why you're doing this,
yeah,
then you can see. As you know, we have a doctor's practice. A lot of our doctors want to change the world, but they're heart surgeons and they don't want the clients to come. They don't want to ever see them again or their kids again. Is that right, Jorge?
yeah, yeah.
So, so that's week one. Sorry, week two. Then we get into the fun stuff, right? Legal, tax, and IP. So we help you set up the right corporations in the right states. We show you how to do it so you pay zero capital gains when there's an exit. We spend a lot of time on IP, which means trademarks, but also copyrights, other things that we can do. Right?
Possible patents.
Possible patents will save you thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees.
Yeah,
We could discuss insurance. And then also we show you how to receive up to $500,000 in research and development tax credits. So again, these are all things that they don't teach you at college. We learned it. We became experts because we've been through it before. Then week three is who is your perfect avatar, right? Jorge, you're really good at this. You
yeah.
teach them what they need to know before they go sell a product. We want even them to name their avatar.
Yes, I think a lot of people think of the idea, which is great. You have an idea for a product, and then you say, let me Google, let me formulate, let me do artwork. And when you come to us, we say, let's start with your avatar. Your avatar is your perfect consumer, the one that's gonna tell everybody about your product. They're gonna buy your product and give it away for Christmas. They're gonna do videos about your product. They're gonna love you, your company, your product. That's your avatar. And we take that person and we reverse engineer your product. That includes the pricing. It includes where they buy in. It includes how it looks. It includes everything because what we're doing is we're picking a club of people that believe in you and in your product. And if we just sell to those people, you will have a successful company. If we go over, then it's fantastic. But even with those 1,000 people, you have a real scalable business.
Perfect. Thank you, Jorge. So then market four, week four, after we decide who your avatar is, then we start talking about product market fit. Who's the market? Where are they going to buy it? What is the size? Then we can work on formulation, size, packaging, and then this determines everything that follows. So week four is really fun, right? I know everyone wants to start here, Jorge. When we meet them, that's where they want to start.
Yes. And then we ask a question and then we go back.
Right. Then supply chain, right? So supply chain. Now you decided what the product is, right? Then where are we going to get it made? Who's the manufacturer? We help you with co-mans. We help with a plan A and a plan B. We help you negotiate it. We discuss POC, which is proof of concept, raw ingredients, NSF facilities, non-NSF facilities. We've come into deals where the founder was convinced to buy a truckload of the product and he didn't like the flavor of the product. And so we had to reformulate. Now, if that happens on the proof of concept stage, we're good. We're good, right? This is what we found. Most founders will buy too much inventory their first time. And they did it because the co-man told them that's his MOQ, right? So if you start out on the wrong, everything else gets a lot harder.
So supply chain is the most difficult part of this entire thing, by the way. It's not sales. In the beginning, you think it's sales, but it's not because it's a formula. Supply chain, keeping up with the customers, with the sales, lowering your prices, that's where it's all about.
Yeah. Week 5 is financial architecture. People say, what does that mean? We spend time, we set up, what is your cost of goods sold? What is the retail price? And then a lot of people haven't done this before. There's a lot of layers in between. They think that they're making something for $1 and they're selling it for $3. There's a lot of margin, but you need retail location needs to make their 40%. Then you have a distributor. So we help you set all that up. And then we have pricing tiers. We have a saying, volume cures all ills. Well, that's the same that you're going to talk to your supplier. So a liquor store that buys one case is going to pay a different price than a distributor that buys 1,000 cases or Walmart that buys 10,000 cases. So we set those up, but you do need to know what your unit economics are. We call it COGS. You need to know what your cost of goods sold is. Then 3PL warehousing. People say, what is a 3PL? So it's a third-party logistics warehouse. Most people starting out to save money will want to pick and pack in their garage. And then we try to talk them out of not doing that, right? We want the founders focused on selling, opening accounts, warehouses. They're really good at picking, packing, and shipping. They will save you, the right 3PL will save you a lot of money because they have discounted rates. They're picking and packing. They're open 24 hours a day. You get the orders out the same day. If this is a side gig and you have a job, and then you go, well, I'll do it later. And one day becomes 2 days, becomes 3 days. It's not a good customer experience. So we speak a lot about that on week 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure a lot of people enjoy this. And I know this is your favorite part, Jorge. It's brand building and marketing, right? You spend a lot of time after you ask them at the beginning why they were doing this and what their story is. And then you get to the avatar. This starts to fall in place real easy. Maybe you could talk a few minutes about
it. It all starts with the introduction. And when we speak, that's what I call your lore or your background or your storytelling or your hero's journey. It all starts with when we had our first conversation, because everything that you say will be incorporated into your brand and the messaging will be relayed to your potential consumer. So this is why this is so important. We're no longer in an economy of logos. We are in an economy of people, especially when video, people want to do business with you, not with your logo. This is very important. It is easy to understand, difficult to apply.
And then we get to, I believe this is week 7, sales acceleration system. So most people, because we'll go to week 8, most people think they want to sell their product in retail. And what we have found is a totally different thing. And Jorge, you can talk a little bit about this. This is your expertise.
Sure.
And why this works well to get you into retail.
Well, before COVID, when we started in this industry, we would go to we got a brand like yours. Let's say it's a beverage. I would call Budweiser distributors, Miller distributors. They're franchisees, so you have to call all of them. So we would call them on the phone, send the samples, go visit them in person, sell them on the product, then go in their trucks, open 300 accounts, and move to the next. Oh, and then support it with marketing. Move to the next distributor, the next one, etc. This was the beverage industry. It's similar with other industries. With snacks, it's very similar. With vitamins, it can be similar. After COVID, that changed because everybody was ordering their products online, and people got accustomed on ordering online. That changed the game for everybody. Now, consumers want to buy online, and they're not afraid of spending 30, 40, $50 like before. Before, when I sold an impulse buy product in the 7-Eleven, I worried that it had to be under $5 because that was the impulse buy, under $5. Now it's $20 to $35. You can go up to $39.99. Can you imagine that? TikTok Live also changed the game for everybody because now it's a democracy in capitalism. Let the customer decide. You don't have the category buyer in the middle deciding. You don't have the distributor deciding, I don't like you, I don't like your product, you will never see a store. Now you go directly to the consumer and you tell them, this is who I am and this is the product. They will make a decision. If they say yes, then the buyers will call us. And that's an amazing thing. And now we have more negotiation power. We don't pay slotting. Maybe we invest in marketing instead of giving them free product. So it's a completely
So
different
Jorge,
conversation.
why are the buyers looking at TikTok? I guess because they're not our age.
Well, yeah, the buyers used to be our age. Now our age is VPs or retired. So the buyers are on TikTok and they see the product, they buy it. They don't even ask for a free sample. They buy it, they like it, and then they go, I want this for my store. I
Okay.
love it.
So next, after that week, we teach about retail strategy and buyer relations. So we've opened stores in chains from Walmart to Target to Vons, over 17,000 stores. We could discuss it this week. We discussed hiring brokers, selling direct to stores, warehouse programs, what a slotting fee is, promotions, couponing, road shows. Also, a special Walmart code that will allow you to go sell locally in your local neighborhood. The manager has a code that he can buy from you to get in that store. So you don't need to be in thousands of stores. You can be in 10 stores and put your product there. We also have one of our incubator clients, we're getting them into Vision stores. And then one of our other ones, we're getting them into chains of comic book stores. Yeah. So people think that you want to have your product at Target, but it's not necessary.
That's right. There's a maturity to your product, right? There's a maturity.
Now we're getting to the end. Usually people will say to us, hey, we have some capital. We want to launch it. We get this going. What happens if I do get into Target? What happens if I get into Walmart? So we set you up. We teach you in in week 11 how to capital raise. So there's a lot of ways to do capital raising, from a Reg CF to Reg A, a potential IPO. We're one of the few people that have taken a company from startup to IPO in 2 years. We can discuss PO financing, AR financing. There's a bunch of new types of supply chain financing that work. So we teach you that in week 11. And then week 12, we position you for an acquisition, a strategic partnership, or IPO from day one. And you may be saying to us, but why do we need to worry about that, right? I'm a startup, I'm working out of my garage, because things can happen very quickly if things work the right way. So we teach you the secret way to pay zero capital gains. We're going to teach you Rule 1202 and the Peter Thiel rule. So, but you'll learn this in week 1. As we set up your corporations, we'll explain why we're setting the corporations up that way to get you there. So we're talking about exit strategies, right? And people think, this is a side gig for me. I just want to do this. I want to have fun. I want to sell in the state of California. If there's a plan in place, Jorge, what can happen, right? I'm sure some of the people on the screen know what this is, but why don't you give a little background or
Sure.
a
And just
case
a
study.
reminder, you will be able to ask questions at the end. And and we have calls. We don't expect you to do everything by yourself. You will be able to ask questions as you go through the 12-week program as well. This is one of the examples that I like. And the reason that I like it is because it took 3 years. The rebranding took 3 months. And then there was a sprint. There was a sprint TikTok shop and TikTok live. That was the first sprint. People think of it because they saw it in the store. Before it was in the store, it was a star on TikTok. So TikTok star, a lot of affiliates, a lot of videos. Then after that sprint, it was a retail sprint. In that case, it was Target and direct store delivery for convenience. And they exited in 3 years after they started with the actual rebranding. It was fabulous. Of the billion-dollar exit, they received $850,000 in cash, and then the rest
150
in
million, yeah,
performance
150 million,
earnouts.
yeah, 150 million and 1.1 in performance earnouts.
And it was procured by Pepsi Cola.
Yeah. Here's another from incubation to IPO. Once upon a farm. So you see a lot of the commercials on TV. Jennifer Garner, you'll see her walking around a farm. The actual founder is here in San Diego, so local San Diego person. But you can see it got listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Valuation $724 million. And then Sows, which is a hot sauce company, had an exit also.
Yeah, you don't have to sell the company. It can be an IPO. It depends on what the market bears.
So when all 12 weeks, when your phases are complete, now your brand is structured, your margins are engineered, your IP is protected, your manufacturing is aligned, your product is ready for retail. Our job is to teach you to operate like a CEO and not a hobby. We don't want this to be a hobby for you. So let's talk a little bit about implementation. Okay. What our incubator does is we have weekly structured video modules. So each module is videoed, recorded with Jorge and myself. We give you step-by-step execution roadmap. We do live weekly founder calls. So every week we do a founder call with me and Jorge where we answer your questions or give you advice depending on what you learned that week. We give you a planner and assignments. I don't want to call it homework, but yes, we're going to give you a little homework. Unlimited help desk. So let's say after the 1 hour call, you forgot to ask us a question. You can send an email and someone on our team will answer it or get it to us. And
we'll
then
have a chat as well.
Yeah, and chat and trusted vendor introductions. So we have all this integrated into one system.
Yeah. So what is trusted vendor interactions? It's our vendors.
Yes, our vendors. Instead of hiring separately a business attorney, a CPA, a trademark specialist, a formulation consulting, manufacturing, marketing, which easily can tens of thousands of dollars before coordination. So we see that a lot when people come to meet us. They've already spent, tens of thousands of dollars between their attorney, CPA, and so on. So this program replaces fragmentation with structure. So it aligns the legal, production, branding, all into one timeline. That's what makes it different from other programs, okay? Who is this for? This is for first-time FMCG founders who have a clear idea for product for beverage, food, supplements, and who can spare 1 to 2 hours of focused hours per week and serious about execution. Who's this not for? Right? Existing brands already selling, right? Founders seeking it done for you, hobbyists, and anyone who's unwilling to execute, right? If someone who's not willing to execute, this isn't for you.
And Sandro, if you have existing sales, we have other more advanced programs.
Yes, we should make that clear that this program is for first-time founders. We do have companies in our incubator that do 100 million a year in revenue, and so, but that's a different program, right? This is like I would say kindergarten and first grade, and those are MBA courses. So, couple of objections, right? People say, "Hey, I don't have enough time. I've been thinking of doing this. I have a full-time job. I have kids going to school. I got soccer. I got football. we agree with all that, right? I'm a dad of two. So, but this program is structured for professionals who have full-time careers. So what we want from you is 1 to 2 hours per week is enough to get this execution and organized. Sorry. The other objection we get is, I've never done this before. Perfect. That's exactly who this is for, right? It's built for people that need a framework, that don't need to think too much about it, but figure out as we do it, right?
Yes.
Objection number 3, I'm afraid of making mistakes. Okay. Yes, we've made all the mistakes for you. So these mistakes won't happen as long as you take the steps and you don't take them out of order. So what we have, Jorge, what we put together for the guest on today is, this is what you would be getting today. You get a 12-week launch product in 90 days. So we talked about it's a 12 weeks modules covering the 12 weeks we talked about: entity setup, trademark protection, formulation, strategy, manufacturing, packaging, supply chain, pricing, retail sales, D2C strategy, capital raising, and scaling. So,
and by the way, everybody, this is not just where you go and take a course. This is not university. We want you to have an actual product at the end of 90 days. So you will have a day where you're going to have to formulate. Yes. You will have a day where you will need a label. You will have a day where you will need to make samples. And at the end of 90 days, you should be holding your sample product.
Yeah. Also, not only the course, a lot of people do courses, that's fine. Then you're going to listen, you're going to go, I didn't even understand what they said, right? We took a course.
Hey, I'm very clear on that.
No, but some wording or something.
I know.
The good thing is that we have these live weekly group founder calls, so they can come on, they can ask questions. They can listen to other founders asking the questions, but they can ask us questions, right? We get a structured launch planner and workbook, okay? So it keeps you accountable and organized. Unlimited help desk, and then trusted supplier. So these are all suppliers that we work with, that we've worked with, and so it saves you time, money, aggravation, right?
And the curriculum, it's not just putting things in your brain. We need to get things out of your brain into paper, because that will be your business plan after the 90 days.
So what is the value, right? What are you getting, right? So here's how we do it. We do sell the 12-week course separately. You've been selling it for a few years now, maybe 5, Jorge, but maybe since COVID. So we sell that course for $5,000. Course, you just buy the course. We also, the live weekly group founder calls, that's new, but we do have a VIP where clients come on once a week with us. We charge $5,000 a month. So for 3 months to 90 days, that value is $15,000. We give you the structured launch planner and workbook, which a value of $2,500. So that allows you to keep organized and follow. It's your business plan, right? So at the end, you take what's there and that's your business plan. Unlimited help desk. We charge our clients $250 an hour to come in and ask us questions. So on average,
well, to the coaches, coaches.
Yeah, 8 to 10 hours, right? 8 to 10 hours. So that's a $2,500. And then really the trusted supplier, I don't even know how to put a price on it. So I put priceless, right? Because if you make a mistake on a production or you get a leaky can, what's that worth, right? So for today, we have some fast action bonuses. If you come on today and sign, this is what you're going to get if you sign up today. So bonus number 1, we put together a FMCG investment fund list. So these are funds that direct invest into emerging consumer brands, right? Our team went in, put it together, made phone calls. We value it at $2,500. Again, you'll be able to start raising capital once you have a MVP, a minimal viable product, right? I know a lot of people want to try to raise capital on an idea. We haven't seen it happen. It could happen, but we haven't seen it happen, right? Number 2, retail buyer and chain contact list. So we give you a list of buyers with the names of people that are buyers in those categories. So if you're launching a nutraceutical product, if you're launching a beverage or a gummy, you have the list of people that you could start contacting and talk to them. That is something you could, if once you have the design and everything, you don't have to have the finished product, you could start warming up the list and telling them that what's coming next. Bonus number 3, trusted 3PL warehouse partners list, right? Everyone's going to say, well, there's a lot of 3PLs, but you have to find the right 3PLs, right? People, we have small ones and we have large ones, right? If you're starting out and you go to a big company like ShipBob, you're just a number. They're not going to know who you are. You could start there, or we put you with a smaller one that will know your name. They'll be able to, we have ones that will kit for you. They'll sign a letter. They'll put, Dear Jorge. They'll do things like that. So you need them from single cans to boxes, to cases, to pallets, to shit, to truckloads. And then most important is number 4, is a $5,000 coupon. So clients, if you're a client in our incubator, you receive $5,000 off your custom formulation. So that right here will pay for the whole course, and it'll save you months of search and expensive trying and error. So you get a $5,000 coupon. So if you add all this together, the total value for this package is over $30,000. Okay. And if you remember, Jorge told the story, most clients come to him after they've spent $250,000, and they don't have everything that we've given them here. Okay. So what we are doing for today is we have this package. You get all of this for $5,000, a one-time fee of $5,000. Or if you say, hey, I'm working, I need some help, we understand. So we have it where we can do $1,000 to reserve your spot, and then 3 payments of $1,500. So by the time the 90 days is done, you've paid for the course, a little bit more, but you've paid for the course, and we're ready to go. And you have structured access and structured timeline. So people ask, is there a guarantee? Well, it's execution based. So we'll guarantee that we're going to provide the structure, but we need you to provide the implementation, right? So with implement it correctly, you'll have results. But if you don't come to the weekly calls, or you don't go do the homework that we give you, and you don't follow up on the things we ask you, how else can we guarantee it, right? So we will guarantee that we'll be at the 12-week course and answer all your questions. So why decide today? Because momentum matters, right? Delay kills more brands than failures, and you get the $5,000 coupon for your custom formulation. So that alone pays for the whole course. If you delay, what happens? We've seen it, Jorge. Another competitor launches, or another year passes by, other opportunity closes. So inaction compounds. I like to have a saying that entrepreneurs can change the world, not our politicians. But you gotta start, right? You gotta become that entrepreneur. So what year from now will you still be researching, or will you have built the brand? So imagine 90 days from now, you're gonna have your corporation structured, your trademark filed, your manufacturer selected, your margins engineered, and your product ready for market. So this is all achievable with structure. So enrollment is open. Spots are limited to 10 serious founders. The reason we limited it is because there's work behind the scenes. We got to answer the questions. We got to help you with different things. So we have to be behind it. So
we have to help. We have to formulate. We have to do labels.
So this is a working incubator, not mass enrollment. So we're not taking 100, 200, 300 people. We limit the spots to 10 people, serious founders. So to secure your spot, let's click enroll or choose your payment option and begin immediately. So your future brand is waiting. Execution determines where it exists. So stop overthinking it. Launch your brand from idea to reality and enroll now. What I'd like to do, Jorge, I'm going to put a code in there where they can go in and reserve, but let's open it up to questions. I'm going to mute it. I'm going to unmute all. Hold on.
Well, one by one, I think.
Well, one by one. Does anyone have some questions? We'll open it up to questions.
And you can, if you don't want to be unmuted, you can ask in the chat as well.
Yeah, you can put it in the chat, or you can come in and answer the questions. Let's see.
And your questions can be about anything that you can imagine. They can be about sales, distribution. They can be about exporting, importing. It can be about ingredients. It can be about online sales, about structure. It can be about funding or valuations. Shoot, we will do our best to answer those questions, no matter what's the category of question. The industries, for the most part, are going to be beverages, fast-moving consumer goods, beverages, beauty products, nutritional supplements that are exploding right now. Just beauty alone, for example, it's a $1 billion opportunity on TikTok Live, TikTok and TikTok Live. $1 billion opportunity in 2026 just for that one category. So we have something right now. I don't know how long it's going to last. In China, most of the sales are already done with live selling. We are all in on live selling. As a matter of fact, we have a studio for on selling as well. Right now, you can sell online. You can grow the company that way. Sandro, you're sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry.
So if you have questions, you can post your questions. Or if you want to be unmuted, just ask Sandro, and then we will unmute you to ask your questions. And again, they can be about everything. And Sandro, you're going to share the links as well.
Yes, I am. Hold on. Fernando, do you have it? Yeah, I'm going to share it on there. So we have questions.
All right, I'd start unmuting, Sandro.
Sorry?
Do you have questions, you said?
No, I don't see the question. So
Okay. I think it was very clear.
hold on. Yes. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let's see. Ask to unmute. Okay. Sarah, did you have a question?
Yes, I have a question regarding the samples. You told that the 90 days is for have the sample ready. And after the samples, because the marketing goes mostly after the samples, right?
Yes. The reason that we want you to have samples, it's because we don't want you to do a big run of manufacturing and spend a lot of money. We want you to do the smallest possible run, manufacturing run, so that you have enough samples to share to give possible distributors, investors, and also we use them to start getting affiliates. In other words, we send the samples to affiliates that are already selling for us on TikTok. We don't have to have the brand to get affiliates. They start signing up. Once we have enough, we can launch, or we can do a drop. We can start signing people, maybe a deposit, or they prepay. And then after that, we can put them into a shopping cart and we say, we're going to have your product ready in 30 days, 15 days, whatever. Then we go into manufacturing. We give the drop to the first adopters, maybe a free gift for pre-purchasing. This is why we do the samples. Also, what if there was a typo? Or what if you want to change a font, or the package, the logo was too small, whatever that might be. We need to fix all of that. This is why we do it with samples first.
Thank you, Sarah. Andrew, did you have a question?
Well, I have a question, but it may be covered in week one. So it was.
But you can ask it. You can ask it. That's
okay. You were talking about LLC versus a corporation, and I've literally been online today thinking about setting up an LLC, and was about to hit, buy on doing that. So I was just curious as to, in broad strokes, why you recommend not doing an LLC.
Well, I'll tell you why. So 2 reasons. One is you're going to look to raise capital, right? Andrew, 2 things that happen, right? Everyone says to us, no, I'm fine. I have enough capital. I'll put my own capital in, right? Until they get a large order from a Target and they need $1 million or $2 million, right? And so as a C Corp, it's much easier to raise capital. Okay. LLCs, it's not very convenient to do it. LLC, a C Corp is. And second, what we teach you is how to get the stock into your name. There's a Rule 1202 where you save capital gains. So it only works on a C Corp. Doesn't work on an S Corp. Doesn't work on an LLC. It has to be a C Corp. So if you're going to do all the work anyway, right? You're going to work your butt off to build this company. You might as well not pay any capital gain.
And it has to be in the right state.
That's right.
And it has to be done a certain way where you have a structure for yourself as a founder, for investors, for other people that might come in with help or with capital or distribution. And then another thing that we do that we will help you with is in our program, once you're selling, everybody has stock, everybody makes money. This is why we want you to do sprints. If people have skin in the game, based on sales and performance, right? Sandro, your screen is sharing. So if we have everything, everybody has stock, then what we can do is we can exit. Everybody wants to exit. Everybody wants to sell. If you don't have the right structure, it is brain damage to give stock, warrants, or options to 300 people.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
So I dropped the into the chat. So if this is something you want to do to either take the course or to save your seat, it's in there. I put it in the chat, right, under courses, FMCG stock. And again, if you're thinking about launching a brand, what we teach you is you're not going to learn in college, and you're going to spend $5,000 to $10,000 with accountants and lawyers. Will probably give you the wrong information, right? They might tell you to do they can tell you to do an LLC, but that's fine for a piece of property, right? Yeah. It's not good for a fast-moving consumer good that you plan on scaling.
Well, Sandro, even the first time they speak with our investment banker, he's going to say, "Where's your corporation?" Well, I have an LLC.
Yeah.
Then,
hey, Ben, did you have a question?
Thank you.
Thank you. Ben, did you have a question?
Yeah, hi. So I already have the formulation ready for my product, and I'm kind of running it, working with a local bakery to do a pilot run.
Sure.
So I was just wondering, I mean, the initial part of the course may or may not be useful to me so much in terms of formulation and so on, and I would need help more with scaling. And the other, I mean, I have an LLC, so of course that part was surprising to me that you would need C Corp to scale and other stuff. So I was just wondering how would that work if I were to join the course?
Yeah, you would join the course just that week. I would please tell you to listen to it.
Well, Sandro, before we go there, how many people come with formulations?
Yes. So Ben, I should have started there. Everyone comes with a formulation,
yes,
right? But if we go through week 1, week 2, week 3, right? I don't want to change what your goal and idea is, right? But the size may change, the flavor may change.
Or Sandro, or the formulation is not scalable to where we can distribute it to retail, TikTok shop, because there's requirements. And if you didn't go through those requirements, those ingredients, even the certifications, then we can't sell it. In order for us to do all of that, we need to look at your formulation, your supply chain, make sure that you're buying from the right formula, from the right suppliers, not from brokers, not from resellers. Again, if not, we can't scale. I would say that maybe 90% of people come with the formulation and 100% of them reformulate.
Yeah. So Ben, the answer is I would go through 1 week, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see that afterwards. We're not saying if you're coming in with a pizza, for example, you're not going to leave with a bagel, right? You're just there's things you're going to learn in there that say, oh, the size matters, shipping, all those things go into what we teach in the class. So I think it's beneficial. I don't think the formulation part is that, for you, it wouldn't be there. But anyway, that's what we would say. Blair, do you have a question? Let's see if I can meet you.
And Sarah also.
Oh, Sarah has a question. Okay, hold on. Sorry.
You can ask as many questions as you want.
Yes.
You can do 2, 3, 10.
Okay, Sarah. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
All right. Following the Ben question, I would like to understand better if you can explain how is the formulation metrified, like what's the metric involved to a person give me a price to do a formulation for my product?
What's the product? Is it a beverage? Is it a
No, in this case, it's
pizza?
a protein snack,
What was it?
a high protein snack.
High protein snack. Okay.
Yes.
We know
A
we know
lot.
our way around protein snacks. We use the largest manufacturer and formulator of protein snacks in the nation already. And all of these people are on our team. And the way we handle it is the manufacturer and the formulator need to be in bed. They need to be married. If they're separate, what we find is once we take the formula to a real co-packer, it flunks the formula. And then you have to pay formulation again with somebody they recommend. What we do, by the way, maybe I wasn't clear that we formulate as well. We have our own formulation house, but we also manufacture. So we make sure that the formula will fit the manufacturer. In our experience, our cost for formulation is 75% off of our nearest competitor. In other words, the next person up charges 4 times more than what we charge for formulation. And then when you bring us the formulation, we have to do it again anyway.
Okay. But my question is more regarding how is this price calculated? Is for a product? Is for like how many ingredients? What is the metric used to give a price for them to give a
So
price?
Sarah, let me give you the answer. So formulations on average take between 80 and 100 hours to do a formulation. It doesn't matter the ingredients because at the end of the day, you want a finished product, right? So let's call it a protein bar. So we have a doctor who's in our incubator. He's doing a product. The 80 to 100 hours, you're going to tell us everything you want to put in it, all the vitamins, all the protein, what flavors you want, all that, right? We take it and we give you a nutritional panel. We say, Sarah, does this look good? Is this what you want? The sugar content, the protein content, or no sugar? And then you say yes. And then we go to what's called tabletops. All that takes about 90 days for a product like that, right? But what we'll be able to do, get you right away, is
explain what tabletops is.
Yeah, so tabletop is before we go to production. It's done in a lab or a test kitchen where the product's made, and then you're sampling it. So all the same ingredients, the way it's going to be done before we go to the next phase, which is product manufacturing. So a formulation on average is $15,000 when we do it. We've seen other people pay $30,000, $45,000, $50,000 for a formulation. So ours would be $15,000.
So the quotes start for less, but then they end up being $50,000.
You pay for, we make sure you get a finished viable product. So $15,000 and you get a $5,000 coupon, let's call it, off of that, and brings it down by a third. So that pays for the whole course there. But a lot of people on our course, 2 things happen when people come through our courses, right? One is they may have a formulation, right, like Ben, or we come up with a better formula, or you can buy what's called a white label product. So what is a white label product? It's something that's already in the formulation that someone already has, and it's just you're a branding expert, or you have a fun TikTok, or you have something. So we could use a white label. You wouldn't need a formulation.
And also, where the magic happens is not with the formulation. Where the magic happens is that we know what the market is selling, and we see your idea, your ingredients, and we suggest ingredients that are going to put you ahead of the competition. What is your unique value proposition? What is your unique selling proposition? It has to be baked into the story and baked into the formula. And that's where I come in all of this, is I help you come up with the formulation that fits the avatar the best instead of a copycat protein bar in this case.
Okay, I gotcha. Thank you so much for the answer.
And where is everyone located? You can either raise your hand or put in the chat. Sarah, where are you located? Andrew, Blair, Ben?
I'm Utah.
And where?
Utah.
Oh, okay. So around Salt Lake City?
In Draper. Do you know Utah?
Well, we have a beverage factory that we're partners with there. So we'll be up there in May on the beverage factory. So
That's good.
I think
That's
they're
good
in
to hear.
Springfield or Springville. Yeah. Andrew,
Okay.
where are you located?
Oh, Venice and San Diego.
Okay.
Nice.
That makes it really easy. Blair, where are you located at? We haven't heard from Blair yet.
Yeah. And by the way, we've owned formula houses. We're in San Diego, of course. We've owned manufacturing, beverage manufacturing. Sandro had test kitchens. Talk about coincidence. Sandro had test kitchens because he had a big but baked into his distribution as well. We've manufactured shots. We've manufactured manufactured for some of the largest companies in LA and in San Diego, uh, or the largest ones, I believe, in San Diego and in LA, and some of the big nationwide companies because we own we're a minority owner now, but we ran a large manufacturing facility as well in San Diego.
Andrew, do you have a question? You're in Los Angeles, right?
Yep, I'm in Los Angeles. So I was muted. I'm
That's
in
okay.
LA.
What's
Yeah.
your idea for a product? We know Sarah is going to do a protein bar or a protein something in the protein space. What are you thinking about?
So my concept is a sauce product.
Sauce.
A sauce condiment product. Yeah.
Okay, so you saw that brand that had a big exit, SAUZ
Yeah,
on the
sales
slide.
or
Yeah.
sauce, and also is it pronounced Batchins or whatever? They sell themselves for $400 million
Yeah.
a couple of weeks back,
Yeah.
and that was in about 7 years or something like that. So yeah.
Okay, and Blair, I know your microphone's not working, but if you want to text a question or what you're doing, I can answer it, and then that's there. So you can go in, you could save a spot, or you could just, if you want, set up a call to ask more questions. But we're here to answer any questions. We're going to be starting next April 1st for the weekly calls. So, but let's get in now. You get those. If you sign up today, you get those 4 from the list to list the investors, to the list of stores.
Yeah.
Those things come today. So
and the format is you're going to see videos that will explain everything that you can imagine and even what you don't want to know. And then you will have a place where you can take your notes, where we ask you the right questions. There's handouts as well if you prefer to print them, but we want you to fill it out. And as you're learning visually or through video, or if you're reading, you can type or you can take notes by hand, whatever you want, because this is going to end up being your business plan and your business model. I say that the business plan is what you would show investors, and your business model is what you use to execute the business plan. The idea is that you have samples, and that you have your business model and your business plan, maybe even your 10 slides. We like to take ideas with 10 slides to investors, which is the Sequoia formula. Any other questions?
Let's see if Blair went in and asked a question or what product he is doing. Nope. Okay. Unless anyone has any other questions, we'll call it a night. I know it's late for some of you on the East Coast, but it's down there. You can go in and reserve your spot and do it. And then we'd like to see you in 2 weeks and help you grow your brand and to whatever scale you want it to be, right? If you want a $400 million exit, or you just want enough so you can quit your job, or as a side gig to make a little extra money, we're here to support you anyway.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.